team of designers from Nike visited their product at one of the graveyards of the first industrial revolution.
Well, you know, when I was just kind of mulling over that statement, waste equals food, I think waste equals food for thought. I mean, it's just about being conscientious and thinking about the impact that your design intentions have.
Located in Beaverton, Oregon, the Nike World Campus is headquarters to a company with $9 billion in annual sales. A company whose heroes are the champion athletes who embody Nike's corporate image of health and athletic performance. Yet Nike's signature product, like all sports footwear, contained materials that were potentially harmful to human health and the environment. Could Nike's products be made consistent with their stated corporate ideals? That was the design challenge posed by Bill McDonough and Michael Braungart.
They started from a point that is so near and dear to Nike, which is design.
Bill really, he essentially woke up this sleeping giant.
Prior to their association with McDonough and Braungart, Nike had tried a more traditional approach. Their Reuse a Shoe program slices off the soles of old shoes and grinds up the rubber to become running tracks and ball fields.
We can actually process anybody's shoes. We can take Asics, we can take Adidas. They all are pretty much made the same as Nike's.
But it didn't address the deeper problem of the chemicals in the rubber.
As they began to look at some of the materials we were using, particularly at the very bottom of our shoes, the things that provide durability and traction, that those materials were actually the ones that in some ways were the worst for the environment.
And we thought that is probably going to be the most difficult platform to begin addressing because of all the chemicals that are used in rubber.
The new protocol proposed by McDonough-Braungart would cost money. It involved redesigning Nike's entire materials palette. Would this highly successful company take the financial risk of going beyond what was required by law?
Even if they believe in it, well, I don't really want to change the way we operate because we've got it so fine-tuned. We know what it's going to cost to do this and this and this and what the result is going to be. And if we change that, I'm not so sure it's going to cost the same and we're going to get the same results.
Nike's internal culture valued taking risks. At special events, managers were expected to go head-to-head against world-class athletes like Brazilian soccer star Ronaldo.
Let there be no mistake on that one.
But was Nike up to this challenge?
Yeah!
It took a lot of hand-holding, a lot of thought around the company to say, we need to move. If you move an inch or if you move a mile, you're moving. So just move.
Based in both the U.S. and Germany, McDonough-Braungart Design Chemistry worked with Nike to analyze what was in its products.
But what we do here at MBDC is we track chemicals at a basic level, and we track the characteristics of those chemicals with respect to their impact on human health and the environment. First thing, again, we go back to it and we say, what's in our product? I mean, down to the 10 part per million level, what actually is in there? What are the solvents? What are the pigments? What's the resin? What are the additives? And have these things been tested? Because unfortunately, a lot of chemicals today that are in use, even high volume chemicals, haven't completely been tested.
Once again, the heart of the solution lay with the chemical industry. Nike used some 5,000 different materials to make its products. They took their new protocol to DuPont and other chemical suppliers.
Now we're entering into a new relationship which requires DuPont and Nike to go deeper into the information that they supply us, which enters into their proprietary technology. We are finding a level of anxiety because this is cutting edge. No one else is doing this level of in-depth research and asking these types of questions that we've come across.
It really is a partnership. You know, we want you guys to design the best chemicals and materials out there, and we'll put them in everybody's product. You know, so let's do this thing together.
Sustainability was only one of many criteria. At Nike Sports Lab, experts tested new materials for performance, comfort, and endurance. For Nike to retain leadership in its industry, there could be no trade-offs.
We don't accept that there has to be a trade-off, because I really honestly believe that all companies should not be about the business of sustainability. They should be about the business of whatever their core issue is. For us, it's athletic and human performance. You know, we're kick-butt performance. By the way, we're also sustainable.
Nike had asked the question, can rubber be made safe for children and the earth? After 2 years of intense work with MBDC, they were successful. In late 2001, Nike is introducing a new rubber sole, free of harmful ingredients. Now, with every step, their customers will be able to work with nature instead of against it.
It's a wonderful thing for us to take this aggressive, ambitious, powerful group of people, which we are, and just change, you know, that basic level of expectations to a better place.
You got to take the stake and you got to put it somewhere big, and you got to say, that's what we're driving for. It's not just going more slowly, you know, it's not going to zero, it's actually turning around and picking a new direction.
The change and its effects will be far-reaching. Eliminating harmful ingredients from rubber will protect workers' health. By the end of 2002, PVC will have been removed from virtually all Nike products. And designers are working on shoes made of technical nutrients that will be true products of service.
I've always had this idea that commerce would have to change. The idea of the transaction would have to change. And I think that maybe because kids are growing out of their shoes so quickly, that maybe the idea would be a leasing program, for example, or a subscription program. You know, be in the service of shoeing people's feet versus selling them goods. So I think that's the future.
This doesn't necessarily mean that an old shoe is going to be worth $5. The real value of that old shoe is that if you come back to a company with their old shoe and say, I want a new one, your customer has just returned. Think of how much money companies spend attracting customers. Well, what if you've got a relationship with your customer that becomes lifelong?